बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम कुल या इबादियल्लज़ीना असरफ़ू अला अनफुसिहिम ला तक़नतू मिन रहमतिल्लाहि इन्नल्लाह यग़फ़िरु ज़ुनूबन जमीआ सदक़ल्लाहु मौलाना अज़ीम. Member of the leading party group of Tianjin Municipal People's Government, Li Shuqi, Secretary of the CPC Tianjin University Committee, Yang Xianjin, President Shai Li Yuan, distinguished faculty members, dear students, both Chinese and Pakistani students, Excellency Ambassador of China in Pakistan, Honorable Federal Ministers from Pakistan, Ambassador of Pakistan in Beijing, Mr. Hashmi, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is really a great pleasure to be back here in this great seat of learning, Tianjin University. I was here for the first time in 2017, and I have my very fond memories of that visit, which was memorable in every sense of the word. I was able to meet outstanding professors, technicians and experts, and met Pakistani students as well as Chinese students at that point in time. So it won't be wrong to state that this is a university, a cradle for our students to become great experts and great helping hands for not only China's wonderful journey of progress as well as Pakistan's well-being and prosperity. Dear students, it is a very happy moment to see a large number of Pakistani students here. I'm told more than 200 from various parts of Pakistan. And my message to you is that God has given you an opportunity to be in a country and in a university, a cradle of great learning and education. Spend your time in the best possible fashion and be great ambassadors of Pakistan in terms of your hard work, punctuality, and your unwavering commitment to equip yourself with modern knowledge and techniques, and return to Pakistan as great architects in whom we have high hopes that you will be the builders of Pakistan, inshallah. But above all, be the torchbearers of Pakistan-China friendship. This has to be the hallmark of your stay here in this country. You have to promote this friendship because this friendship was built by our elder generations through unwavering commitment, honesty of purpose, and unbelievable sincerity in their efforts to have a foundation of friendship which stands on the pillar of mutual trust, mutual respect, and honesty of purpose. And that is why this friendship, Pakistan-China friendship, has not only stood the test of times, but has faced enormous changes, winds which could change the course of history. But this friendship remained strong. It withstood clear commitment with clear vision in our minds that together we will find our shared destiny. This friendship faced various kind of plans, and the aim was to keep these two great friendly countries away and create distance. But all those plans were absolutely defeated by our united thought of action and clear understanding that this friendship will last forever no matter what. So I believe we are on course. We are absolutely steadfast in our direction. And today I would like to bring for your kind consideration certain important historical facts. And those are, Pakistan-China ties are as old as the Silk Road, when traders and monks carried not only goods but ideas across mountains and deserts. They are as profound as Gandhara, where Buddhist art and learning traveled from Texla to Shanghai and to Beijing. They are as connected as the origin of Indus and Yangtze River from the Tibetan plateau. And here are some soul-searching facts, facts which can't be denied under no circumstances, that Pakistan was the first Muslim country to recognize the People's Republic of China. And about 60 years ago, the first international flight to Beijing took off from Karachi, that is PIA, Pakistan International Airlines, and this fact will be remembered for all time to come. And then the Karakoram Highway, carved through rock and ice, became one of China's earliest and boldest infrastructure projects with a foreign partner. And let us not forget, it was Pakistan's leader who was the last foreign guest to be received by late Chairman Mao. These are milestones in a unique friendship of firsts and lasts, each carrying very important message and significant plan for all and sundry to understand what this friendship is all about. Dear students, I am reminded of the timeless verses of our great poet of the East, Allama Muhammad Iqbal, who has written poetry both in Urdu and in Persian, and it has been translated into various other languages, who said almost around 100 years ago, "Gran khab chini संभलने लगे, गरां ख्वाब चीनी संभलने लगे, हमाला के चश्मे उबलने लगे. Its translation is that Allama Muhammad Iqbal, the great poet of the East, he foresaw the great potential of Chinese nation, its great abilities, its capacities to transform China into one of the most growing countries around the globe. This journey of peace and prosperity would ultimately be shared by many nations around the globe, by hundreds and millions of people. He said that Chinese potential is now like the fountains of Himalaya, is now bubbling with zeal, with enthusiasm, and with great commitment. And ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students, look, what he said 100 years ago has become so prophetic that China today is one of the world's largest economy. China today, militarily, is one of the most powerful country around the globe. And we are, as Pakistani, we are very proud of this fact that China is a great country around the globe. And as a result, 800 million people have been taken out of poverty. This is no small achievement. It is a very towering achievement. And this historic transformation has been guided by the visionary leadership of President Xi Jinping, whose resolute commitment to people and people-oriented development and building a community of shared future, shared values, shared destiny has inspired not only China, but the entire global South. For us, China's rise to a global economic powerhouse offers invaluable insights into the importance of strategic long-term planning and policies that place the welfare of the people at their very heart. And this is most definitely is the pivot of President Xi Jinping's visionary policy. His visionary leadership has today conveyed this message to the entire globe that friendship and long-lasting friendship can only be achieved through multilateralism and not through unilateralism. Prosperity and progress can only be achieved through teamwork and shared journey and shared progress and prosperity, and not through exclusive rights. I think this cardinal principle has now been established as a norm around the globe, and I think Pakistan fully supports and endorses President Xi Jinping's vision and his philosophy. And I want to mention before this August Assembly of outstanding students, high achievers, and faculty members, and excellencies, diplomats, that in terms of President Xi Jinping's strategic vision, he believes strongly to eradicate corruption. That's what my policy is in Pakistan. He believes in eradicating poverty. That is our policy in Pakistan. With our meager resources, whatever we have, at this point in time, it's about 1.5 years of our governance in Pakistan. I can assure you with all the amount of certainty at my command that there hasn't been a single corruption allegation against my government, and I feel humbled, and I want to thank Allah Almighty. This is how, through transparency, hard work, and untiring efforts, can nations really change the clock of the history. And look what China has done. In 1948, as an independent country, and today, within few decades, China is the second largest economy of the world. China is one of the mightiest military power of the world. It is not through sermons or speeches, it's through untiring efforts, through hard work, through toil, through blood and sweat. That's how nations are built. And that is, I think, truly the vision of President Xi Jinping. And I think we have our shared destiny with China. I'm sure, by the grace of God, that within Pakistan's Islamic welfare state's ambit, we can really have a mini China in Pakistan in terms of industrial progress, agricultural progress, in terms of modern techniques, science and technology. We must learn not only from this university in Tianjin, but all universities in China. We should acquire knowledge and replicate in Pakistan and change the course of history by transforming the lives of 240 million people and take out millions out of poverty to become helping hands of Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how. I will not take more of your time, but like to say a few more points before I conclude. And that is the friendship I've just explained to you, the old adage, our friendship, China-Pakistan friendship, is higher than the Himalayas. Just add one more adage, and that is stronger than steel. And this friendship is truly beyond imagination. With over 60% of our Pakistani population comprised of youth, Pakistan holds a tremendous demographic dividend. And here again, we must learn from Chinese model. To unlock this potential, Pakistan has partnered with China to chart new opportunities in advanced education, skills development, and vocational training. And as I speak, about 30,000 Pakistani students are learning modern knowledge from various universities of China. The government of Pakistan, under my watch, have arranged to send 1,000 agri graduates to China to learn modern techniques and come back home to assist farmers how to have higher yield of agri-production in wheat, in cotton, in sugar cane, in maize, and then value addition. This is all what, my dear students, you need to really learn here in China and spend every second of yours to become great Pakistani hands to build Pakistan. And then finally, I'd like to say that vocational training is the name of the game. And I would like our friends sitting here from Tianjin University to please assist us how to build massive vocational training capacities in Pakistan with Chinese cooperation. We would need your experience, your technology, your equipment, and train our HR, and then build these great centers in Punjab, in Balochistan, in KP, in Sindh, in Gilgit-Baltistan, and Azad Kashmir. As I said, youth bulge is our challenge. And in Chinese parlance, every challenge has an opportunity. So it is a challenge as well as a great potential, a great opportunity. We must convert this challenge into an opportunity by acquiring this knowledge and expertise. And we will, although we are not a very, very rich country, but we are ready to spend from our own pocket whatever we can to spend on our students. And this is not an expenditure. It is an investment on our students for all time to come, which will pay great dividends in all time to come for Pakistan, inshallah. Finally, I'd like to conclude that we are going to sign, as I said, we are sending 1,000 agri students to China. Out of them, about 600 have already completed their training or are under training, and the rest will follow, and this will be like a game changer in Pakistan. And Huawei is our great partner who are training Pakistani students, boys and girls in Pakistan, and I'm here to find more partnerships with Chinese companies to have such technical training in AI and IT-led programs, which will really be a game changer for Pakistan. Dear students, Confucius, the great Chinese philosopher, wisely said, "The firm, the enduring, the simple, and the modest are near to virtue." The firm, the enduring, the simple, and the modest are near to virtue. For over 7 decades, our friendship has been exactly that: firm in resolve, enduring in loyalty, simple in trust, and modest in its quiet strength. As we prepare to celebrate the 75th anniversary of our diplomatic relations, the baton of this friendship now passes into your hands, both Chinese young students and Pakistani young students. Carry it high as you march forward. Together, let us forge the next chapter of the Pakistan-China community with a shared future, with a new era. Thank you. Sheshi, Pakistan-China friendship, Zindabad.